Word on the street indicates that Erik ten Hag is at the verge of being sacked by the club of Manchester United. But what are we getting in from the club? And the correspondents for the club of Manchester United for different tabloids have come out and had something to say about Erik ten Hag. And this all escalated after United's 3 loss to Tottenham Hotspur on Sunday. Welcome to the United Matters channel. How are you guys and where are you watching us from? It's the 1st of October. I apologize that yesterday I never showed up, but never say never. We obviously have to kickstart off a match the 1st of October in high gear. Smash like button, comment and share. If you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a day. Rock and David is my name, and hope you guys are really having fun. And we are here to sit here to bring you the latest news and information about Erik ten Hag's future at the club of Manchester United. And it is really very tricky. And as I told you when I was really doing the match reaction, that it's all going to be about the next 2 games. Thursday, FC Porto, and Sunday, Aston Villa. I think those 2 games are really going to be important into what Erik ten Hag is really going to be, on what Erik ten Hag's future is really going to be at the club of Manchester United. And yesterday on Monday morning, Erik ten Hag arrived early at Carrington, as you see him there. That is Erik ten Hag, and that's him arriving at Carrington. And he arrived very early, even when it was still dark, to see to it that he obviously tries to plan for the next game to either obviously saves his job. And there is no way he's really going to be sacked if at all he really gets positive results from the game of FC Porto and the game of Aston Villa, I tell you. And I know pressure will mount a lot if at all the man really finds himself in a position of not really getting positive results from those games. And this is where he's really going to be testing the hearts of these players and what they really plan for him as a manager. Now, Mail Sport has also does that Erik ten Hag was at the club's Carrington ground bright and early on Monday morning as he aimed to put the weekend 3-0 thrashing by Tottenham Hotspur behind him. Obviously, there is one of the quotations he put out on what he told the players that obviously it's been a bad day, tomorrow is a new day, let's obviously come in and really start off early. And that's why he reported early and was like, I want to do everything. But this is not news to me, because this is the time that Erik ten Hag arrives always at Carrington. We all know that. Unless otherwise, we are really going to be having a game where he always has to really sleep at the team hotel and obviously see to it that the players really go ahead to really be with him, do the match preps and so on and so forth. So Erik ten Hag is really used to really arriving early. And I think no player at Manchester United really finds him or herself into a better position ahead of him at the club. So as it stands, I really love everything that ten Hag is really putting out in there for you, because he keeps going. And today I've gone ahead obviously see the back pages of different media outlets in United Kingdom having a title dubbed "I'm Not Afraid of a Sack." And however much I really have issues with Erik ten Hag, and I believe that he has really gone ahead obviously sack himself, I like that arrogance in him, that I'm not afraid of a sack, meaning that he believes that something's really going to work out. And it's always right to die on your truth. If he feels like Bruno Fernandes and Rashford are really going to become better and really win him games, the better. If they do win them, if they really fit into the squad and obviously win him games, the better. If they don't, then he'll be a man dying on his own sword. You get? He'll be like, I've gonna hate to die trying. You get? So I think everything has a positive and a negative about it. But yesterday morning, United went ahead to obviously address the public about their decision on whether they went to sack Erik ten Hag or not through their outlets and or their media correspondents. And this one was Telegraph Dhaka, United correspondent for the Telegraph. He said, ten Hag stays in charge for Manchester United ahead of FC Porto and Aston Villa. That's what we are told. And they added and said, an immediate change of a manager is not expected. For the hierarchy, the important thing is to support the manager, the staff, and the players in this difficult period. Now, this is where INEOS is really caught in between the rock and the hard place, because they've just gone ahead to back the manager, and the manager is just 6 Premier League games into the season, 1 Carabao Cup into the season, one UEFA Europa League game into the season. And with 32 games to go, you can't really rule out a person from really becoming better and better into the team. So they really have some faith in him. And I know they are going to back him and back the players and see to it that everything really moves on as planned. But even Fabrizio Romano came out and said that INEOS really believe in Erik ten Hag as their manager. And this is where we're going to see the level at which INEOS is very serious on really building this plan. And if they spend close to 200 million euros to bring in players for Erik ten Hag, does it make sense for you to sack him? I'm just leaving this question to you. However much I believe that he's really sacking himself, but INEOS has to show us its balls that this is the manager we chose and we are standing with him. That is the most important bit of it all. And if there are people who believe into what we call progress, and letting the process to where they deserve to be, then they should come up and obviously not sack him. But if they want quick fixes, then they'll obviously say, we are going to sack him and we are going to get in a new manager. You understand? So they are backing Erik ten Hag for the job of Manchester United, and they really believe he's the right man for the job. And for the next 2 games, I think that's when it's really going to go out of Erik ten Hag's hands, or get to the grip of Erik ten Hag. Because if Ten Hag comes up and obviously wins those games, because I know he can win them, as for the Premier League game, he doesn't have Bruno Fernandes, and that is really a very big boost for us who know how Bruno Fernandes is going to obviously affect the club of Manchester United going forward. You get? So if he brings in Eriksen and is having Casemiro and Manuel Ugarte in the double pivot, I tell you, that is really going to be good news for Manchester United, because they'll play very well that midfield, they'll get very many chances, and they'll win very many balls going forward. So I think the manager really knows it well, that it's really something important for him to obviously do to the needful in there for you. Now, this is Laurie Whitwell, correspondent of Manchester United at The Athletic. He said, privately, those in charge are echoing Ten Hag sentiments that altering the infrastructure and working practices at the club was the main priority when INEOS arrived, and patience is required to allow that to bed in and see results. Now, this is where Erik ten Hag still has the backing of these people, because they believe that even if it was their new manager they brought in and he was performing like how Ten Hag is really performing, they wouldn't have gone ahead to sack him, because the manager would have gone ahead to be put up there as the face of the project. And looks like INEOS is like, all what we put into, we are looking at the structure, and patience has to be really weathered in. And this is what United is looking at. And that is really very important for anyone who has gone ahead to come up and really make a decision on whether, or make up your mind that he should be sacked or not. So it's really going to be a long season. And we are really having a very huge decision to make into the mix. He also added and said Berada and Ashworth only went public unequivocally back Ten Hag, unequivocally to back Erik ten Hag at the start of the month. So changing course now would be a volte-face and out of keeping for executives who liked to be driven by a methodical process. And obviously, I understand what they're really going in through, but we should all admit that it's really going to be a painful time for the club of Manchester United. That is it. A lot is really going to be happening, and sacrifices have to be made. I don't see us winning the league, but I believe that we can compete in the UEFA Europa League and really lift up that trophy and very many others. But amidst everything, Ten Hag should really help himself also by really putting the right players on the field of play. For me, out of the 11 players he feels, it's only 2 that are really causing problems. And I told you that God loves Erik ten Hag. I told you that. Because in a game that can really sack him, the game of Aston Villa, Erik ten Hag has come up and obviously seen the man who has gone to torment the chances of Manchester United, known as Bruno Fernandes, out. Meaning that in that game, with the Kobe Menu injured, you'll see Man United having Casemiro, Manuel Ugarte, and Eriksen into that midfield. You understand? So That is how lucky the man is, because stubborn as he is, he would have gone ahead to go in for Bruno Fernandes ahead of this guy. You get? So I think it's high time he got to know that those players are really costing him. And I think when you play the next 3 games, whether with Erik ten Hag or not in the Premier League, United will look a better side going forward with Eriksen being played as a number 10. That is exactly what United is going to be looking like. So I call upon for your reactions into the comment section below about the side of Manchester United and what they really have to do to see it that everything really comes to normal. But most probably, games of FC Porto and the game of Aston Villa. Those are the next 2 games they're going to be playing. Now, if Ten Hag survives, he'll have a heck of games, but he'll need to prove to everyone that he's really ready to keep the job of Manchester United. We are hosting Brentford. No sooner we return from the international break, then we'll play away at Fenerbahce. You get? Then West Ham. We'll play away at West Ham. Then we host Leicester City in the Carabao Cup. And then on the 3rd of November, that's when we're going to be hosting Chelsea. Then 7th November, PAOK. And then 10th November, that's when we are going to be hosting the side known as Leicester City. So that will be those will be some of the games we're going to be playing after the international break, and there'll be 7 in number, and we go to the international break and return on the 24th to see how things are really going to be panning out. And this is how huge these 2 games are for Erik ten Hag. If at all Ten Hag gets maximum points, all 4 points from these games, I tell you, Ten Hag would have gone ahead obviously borrow more time for himself. Those 2 weeks of the international break, Ten Hag will come back. Luke Shaw, Tyrell Malacia, he will come back. Lenny Yoro will be in line to return. And I think with those players back, United will obviously look good into their forward play. That is it. So guys, thank you very much for watching through. Smash like button, comment and share. If you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. And I hereby call upon you guys to subscribe, because we want to hit 20,000 subscribers, and let's obviously hit 20,000 subscribers before the end of the month of October, because today is 1st of October. But your reactions to what I've gone here to say are welcome in the comment section below, and this is what we have for you, and hope you guys are going to obviously enjoy everything we've gone ahead obviously put into your public eye, and hope you guys are really well served. Now I'm waiting for your reactions into the comment section below. But I told you I've been backing Erik ten Hag, but it looks like he's not backing himself. And if at all he gets sacked, he would have gone ahead obviously sack himself. That is it. So it's a good morning in my country. I don't know where you're watching us from. We are really going full pelt onto this channel. So in 2-3 hours from now, we're going to be dropping another video, and then the match preview will be coming in later in the evening. Then a live stream is inevitable today, because we need to talk loads of business concerning the club of Manchester United. I sign out for now. See you later, and bye-bye.